Hello, dividend executives. Welcome back. It is Friday, so you already know we are trading options. We're reviewing our plays from last week. And my gosh, I feel like we just keep saying it, but another ripper of a week. QQQ and SPY have been on an absolute tear. Bitcoin has been running up to about, $95,000 to $97,000, which has brought up MSTX, got us out of that. It's brought up CONL. It's brought up a bunch of other proxies, and Hood had a really good earnings as well. So let's jump into it. Let's take a look at where we're sitting. Currently, the balance is at $123,523, up about 2% for the day. We're towards the end of the market close, so the market's probably going to pull back here as all the options are getting close to expire worth this. But I want to take a look at it. So we had about a 1.74% week for the month. We're up about 18.5% or $19,000. Year to date, we're still down about 4.8%. So right on pace with the S&P 500. 1 year, we're up 34% or 31,000 all time, which is basically about 2 years in this account. We're up 52%, about $42,000. So not too bad for just an average guy. Just selling some covered calls, cash secure puts, and slowly but surely building it. So let's take a look at where we're at. Buying power is only at $344. We made some purchases this week. We'll go over those. And we have a lot of puts on the table, right? And we have some calls on the table as well. So first and foremost, let's go over the puts. We sold some puts on Hood at the 42. We're up $164 on the trade. Those are going to expire worthless. Everything is in the green today, so I just don't want to sell puts. Earnings is starting to wind down a little bit. So none of these have earnings. But we sold into Hood earnings. That went well. We sold the Amazon put as well at 165 for 71. And that one went well. We might end up rolling that out to next week. Actually, let's roll that out to next week because this is trading pretty flat today. So not a bad opportunity. And if I can get it anywhere under 170, I am really, really happy there. So, well, maybe the premium's not even there. If we win at the 0.1 delta at the 177, we are looking at, so we can get a couple of bucks there, about $45 there. So that's the Amazon plate, $16,500 worth of capital there. NVDL, we had 4 puts open at the 29. We're up $132 on that one. So there's a couple $100 there already. MSTX had earnings on MSTR this week. Of course, terrible earnings for the company, but they did another at-the-money offering, and Bitcoin's doing well, so the company's doing okay. And MSTR is just under $400. So those ones all will expire worthless at the 132. So that'll free up another $9,000 worth of capital. And then we have some Soxo and CleanSpark calls. I ended up rolling Tesla earlier today, or TSLL, but it's time to roll these Soxo calls, right? So let's come in here, let's roll this position. We are towards the end of the market, and so that's why you're seeing that message here. But let's see what we can do here. So if we went up to the 15, let's go up to the 16. That'll pay us 60. Let's go a little more aggressive, actually. So we're going to roll it. We're going to roll it up to the 15.5, I'm thinking. 15.5 sitting at a 0.16 delta. Yeah, let's hit it that. That's $90. I think we can get a fill there. Low likelihood. Let's see if we can get a fill for 90 there. I'm not super worried about this. If it does end up not filling, we can just let this expire worthless and sell it on Monday. And then same thing with CleanSpark, right? We're up $42 on this one. Let's go ahead and roll that position out. We had the $11 call. We can probably hit the $11 again, get $49. Let's see if we can get a fill here right between the bid and the ask. If not, I'm not too worried about it. Again, they can just expire worthless, and I can sell calls on Monday. It's possible that it won't be green, but that's okay. So we have the rolls out on Soxo. You just saw that. And we have the rolls out on CleanSpark, trying to collect a little bit of income on our shares there, and a tiny bit of downside hedge if we do end up having a pullback. But those are in the works there. And then between all these other positions, like I said, everything's pretty much green today. And so I just don't want to get, I don't want to get caught selling on a green day. I've had that happen a lot in the past. So I'm just going to let these expire worthless. So we'll let Hood expire worthless, Amazon, NVDL, MSTX. All those are expire worthless, and they'll give us about $45,000 worth of buying power. And then we will sell puts on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever day looks really good. Whenever I see the nice pullback, and then we'll probably sell on some similar names. I would love to pick up Amazon if we get down under 170. That would just be a steal of a deal. So that's what we're looking for on the Amazon. And then NVIDIA, NVDL, and Hood, would love to pick those up anywhere below probably 44 on Hood. So we'll see there. Soxo collecting some rent. And then let's go over this TSLL. So I ended up rolling this out, which made me book $40 on last week. And then we got paid $170 on the roll here. So we got paid $19 per contract for 10 contracts to sell the 13 call. We rolled it up and out from the 11.5 to the 13. So $150 per contract if we do end up getting in the money. And And yeah, we'd have some really good share appreciation there, right? About another $1,500 worth of share appreciation if we did get there. And yeah, I'll take that all day long. So we collected $170 worth of rent on our shares for the week there, selling the calls. And we have some time. And then we still have some call calls out at the 25 and at the 30. So we'll see how those end up playing. We still have 2 weeks there left on that. So that's the update on the account there. Account's looking good at the $123,000. At the $45,000 mark in cash on Monday, that means we can probably, I don't know, collect anywhere between $300 and $500, just depending on how aggressive we go and if we play any earning players or not. Obviously, if we go aggressive, we can collect a little bit more than 1% on our money. But for the most part, yeah, it's pretty possible. I mean, if we look at something like, let me pull this up. If we look at something like Hood and we were to sell puts on this, let's just look at a put at a 0.1 delta. We're probably sitting somewhere around this 42. Yeah, so this 42.5 mark. So that's pretty close. We're at a 0.096 delta there. At 42.5 is getting us about 0.5% on our money. And so, yeah, I mean, we could obviously sell 10 of these for 42 grand and collect $229. That's a really low delta play that we could play there at the 0.24, which is an option. But the goal is, yeah, anywhere between $300 and $500 options income on our puts for the week. If we get a sign, great. If we don't, great. But I'm going to wait for a pullback, and then we'll try to continue to do that. And then we'll just slowly build the account back up. And that's where we're sitting at 123,000. Let's jump into the spreadsheet real quick just so we can see where we're at. Of course, as always, here's all the trades we've made for the entire year. We ended up getting out of MSTX. It did end up ripping some more, but I just wanted to de-risk before earnings. And so we ended up taking a loss on the shares there for $348. And that's purely because we sold the call at the 35 and our cost basis was 35 and some change. Let me look at it was. Yeah, it was 35.58. So we sold it under our cost basis, but let's keep in mind we sold calls on that for many weeks, so our true cost basis was much lower. You can see we've made $5,718 worth of options premium. So in that, we took a loss on the shares, but we made a massive W when it comes to the premium, right? So April we wrapped up at 3,423. And we started the balance in April at 105,000, and then we started May at 122,000. So not the greatest, still a really good 3% month on our, so we hit our goal between the 2 and the 4% trading options. But the thing that I really like to see is that we went from 105,000 to 122,000. Now we're sitting at 123, and just an hour ago we were at 124,000. So we're pushing back up where we need to be, back up closer to those March numbers. And if we continue to stack that $3,000 a month trading options, I mean, it's only a matter of time as long as we don't have a massive pullback in the market before we start really getting busy there. So that's what we're looking at in the account as of right now. May, we're already up to start of 190. We're only the second day of May right now. So on Monday, Tuesday, depending on how the market looks, we'll end up really getting some nice puts in there, and we'll collect a couple $100 there, and we'll just keep stacking, right? So how much do we need every single week, right? So the goal is 34,000 by the end of the year. This month, the goal is 2,785. We need $696, so basically $700 a week in order to hit that. We'll hit that through calls and through puts, right? So we have calls we can sell on TSLL, Connell, Soxel, CleanSpark, right? So if we can collect, $300-400 between those ones, and then another $300-400 between the puts, that's how we're going to hit that $700 a week. So that's what we're going to plan on doing, and that's how we're going to slowly stack it up, and then we'll just continue to track it here. So that's where we're sitting as of right now. If we follow the goal, 2% on our money based on the base case when we started this would put us at 2,700 for the goal, 3% at 4,300, and 4% at 6,100. Obviously, 4% is going to be, we'd have to have some crazy plays to do that. 3% is possible, but we'd really have to stretch. And then 2% base case is what we always want to focus on getting. We've hit it so far every single month this year. And if we can continue to do that, then 2%, if you stack that every single month, we're talking 24% a year. So it is no small feat. But that is the update I have for this week. The account just continues to grind up slowly but surely. We're just slowly but surely moving the needle. Since we opened this account, we're averaging, 25, as of today, about 25% a year. So not too bad. As long as we can get the market to continue to cooperate, we're looking good. I did make some purchases this week as well. We made some purchases on QQQ, If we come down here, we received a dividend on QQQ and we made some purchases. So on April 30th, I bought a share. I spent 500 and then we reinvested the dividend of the 23.97. I also ended up buying some more AMD, just slowly lowering my cost here. My cost is now at 115. So still not great, but we're just trying to get towards that 100. I have all year to do it, so I'm just slowly stacking it up. So on the 30th, I ended up buying 5 shares and then some odd lots to get me to an even share count. So we spent about $500 there. So $1,000 into the long term that we spent so far. And we just keep stacking, right? So we just keep stacking the shares, keep collecting the call premium, keep wheeling and dealing in and out of stocks. And slowly but surely, we just slowly build the balance. So that's the update for this week. Hopefully everybody is enjoying this massive rally that we've been seeing as of late, especially when it comes to stuff like SPY, right? I mean, we've seen SPY go up. If we look in the last month, since April 7th, we were at 493. So we made a $70 move in the SPY over the last 3 weeks, which is a massive move. So that's where we're sitting in the count. I appreciate everybody as always. Happy investing, and we'll catch you next time.